friends, over the past few years that we've been here on our homestead, my goal has been to produce more and more food for my family as well as for others. We've produced things in the garden, but we also raise animals for food as well. We raise goats, we raise chickens, and we raise ducks. And one of the things that we've been inspiring to do more and more of, like they used to do in ancient cultures, is use more of the whole animal. So with ducks, we raise them for meat as well as for eggs, but instead of just using certain parts of the meat, we're also trying to use the whole carcass. Let us show you what we're doing today. So what do we have here?
Well, we have 2 duck carcasses from last week, and we are going to turn those into duck stock.
Yummy, yummy. Stock and broth are something that I didn't consume a lot of in my early years, but now that we've been homesteading, I've been consuming a lot more of it. And not only is it good, it's also good for you, right?
It is really good for you, and it's really easy to make, so that makes it even better.
So whenever I'm using stock, I actually like to take broth or whatever and just drink it. I know you put it in different things like soups and things, but it's really good. It's like just a warm, especially this time of year, a warm drink to just revitalize you. You just feel stronger, sturdier, revigorated, and whatever else.
Well, it's
supercharged.
It's also soup season, so that makes it even easier to use. But you can use broth and stock in all kinds of things, in all your sauces that you make, and it adds just a little bit more nutrition than what it would have without it.
So it's like my supercharged duck juice.
Sounds a little weird, but okay, supercharged duck juice.
Supercharged duck juice, give me strength.
So gross. I don't even want to think about it.
All right, let's get started.
Is so easy to make. You probably have everything you need in your kitchen, and it really isn't that much. It can be easy as just your carcass, your animal carcass, and water and salt, and that's all you need. But today I'm going to add in some carrots, onions, celery, apple cider vinegar, because that makes everything better, salt, and some bay leaves. If I'm making stock at home, you can avoid a lot of the other fillers that they put in, like the stock that you buy at the store. They normally add caramel color, and they add salt, but you want to make sure that it's good salt. Good salt, like Redmond salt, like right here, is really good for you, but the iodized salt that they normally put in those types of things is not good for you. So it's cheaper whenever you make it at home. It takes a little extra time, but not much, and especially not as much when you make it in the Instapot, how we're doing it today. So I have all of my vegetables in the Instapot.
And cheaper is not always better, but when you can get better quality and save money, it's like a double win, a win-win situation. But an example of cheaper not being better is in the case with salt, like Lacie mentioned with refined salt. Refined salt is cheaper than real salt, but real salt is so much better for you and it tastes better. And Redmond Real Salt is one of those companies that you can get real salt from.
And I know if y'all are like me, I like to stretch everything I can. And you know, you have a grocery budget, and sometimes that's it, and that's all you got. So making the most of what you have is really, really important. And I've been making my own stock for years, and it's just one easy way to make your dollar go further. So buy your chicken at the store if you're not raising your own. And if you can't afford organic, get the conventional chicken. You have to do what you can do. So then you have enough chicken for one night for a meal, for 2 nights, something like that. What do you normally do with the carcass? A lot of people just throw it out. Well, with this, you can turn that carcass into almost a whole other meal, or at least half a meal. And you know, that really pays off when you're adding more nutrition to your food, and you know, you're not spending anymore.
Get in there.
Okay, so we add our salt in our Instapot, and you do not need an Instapot to make stock. For years I just used my regular old stock pot, but the Instapot, it makes it even faster. There's a whole setting, you just push the button and let it go and just forget about it. So that's what we're doing today. And one last thing that I add in, other than my water, is some apple cider vinegar. And you just need a couple tablespoons. And what that does is it releases the minerals that are in the bones. So all those good minerals that are in the bones get released into that stock or broth, and in turn you ingest those, and then that's how you get a lot more nutrition out of your carcass.
And speaking of access and nutrients, there's a lot of good things that are available for you in stocks and broths. It's a lot of good vitamins and minerals that are going to help you with things like digestive health, inflammation, collagen that can provide you to help you out having better skin, and all those minerals and things that can help you with your bones and your teeth. It's just really, really good for you. And also with sicknesses. There's these stories that go around that say that they use broth to basically raise the dead because it's really good for you. It can provide you with things that help you out in sickness to overcome it, and as well as help you prevent sicknesses as well.
Well, yeah, that's why we've always heard, you know, have chicken soup whenever you're sick, because it just provides so much more nutrition, and it's easy on the digestive system. It's easy on your body to absorb all of that good nutrients.
So instead of buying some of these crazy supplements, we should try to do what we can to get what we need from our food by eating better.
And since my Instapot is not big enough for both of these duck carcasses, I'm going to take this one and put it in my large stock pot. Get all these other bits and bones up here. So this is how I do it in my normal stock pot. I don't have any more carrots, so I'm going to take the rest of this celery. It doesn't have to be pretty. And that's another thing. You can use, if you have any vegetables that, you know, maybe they're not the prettiest, but they're still good, just throw them in your stock and get the nutrients out of them that way. You know, and I'm pretty liberal with my salt. Put in some apple cider vinegar. That's a big pot, so I'll put a bunch in there. And one other thing that I really like to put in here are bay leaves. If you haven't ever cooked with bay leaves before, they really give a lot of flavor. And this is just the last few that have broken up, and I'm just going to throw those all in there.
So adding all those other ingredients, does that just add more flavor to the stock?
Yeah, it mainly adds more flavor. Now there is some nutrition that goes along with it too, but mainly flavor. But if you don't have these other things, then just do chicken and water. I mean, that right there, you're still gonna get chicken stock, and you're still gonna benefit from just doing that.
So is there a certain height that you're filling it up to?
I mean, I like to make a lot of stock, so I don't go all the way up to the top, but I definitely cover the bones. That's what I like to do. And I don't really remember making a lot of stock whenever I was a kid. Not saying that my mom didn't do it, but I really started making stock for myself like right after we got married. We were all into nutrition, and I just wanted to provide better food for us, and this was one way that I could do that. What I do initially is bring it up to a boil, and once it starts really at a rolling boil, I'll turn it down and let it simmer. And I will let it simmer for hours. You could do a few hours, 4 hours, something like that. But sometimes I'll even leave it on the stove just at barely a simmer. I mean, even on low after it's cooked a long time, and just let it keep on cooking and letting all that good stuff come out of the bones. Now with the Instapot, you do have to make sure that you don't get up past the max line for your Instapot, because we don't want any like explosions or anything like that. So make sure you only go up to your pressure canner max inside, which is about 2/3 of the way. I just want to let y'all know how much I love my pressure cooker. This isn't an Instapot, it is an off-brand, it's a Yeti, but I use this multiple times a week. I've used it multiple times a day, and I want to say thank you. I can't remember who bought it for me, but it was one of you guys that actually gifted this to me, I think about 2 years ago, and it has been such a blessing. And I just want to say thank you so much, because it really frees me up to do even more stuff at home.
And I want to thank you too, because this created a lot of yummy meals for us that I have definitely appreciated. So thank you very much. And with all these different tools that we have nowadays, it makes me think back to people back in the day when they didn't have these tools, and if they would have saw things like the Yeti here, some of the women from then would have been like, "What? You cook what? How fast?" But it's just one of those blessings that we have to be able to have tools like that. Well, while the stock is preparing, I gotta go outside and move some ducks. We talked about ducks, but some of our newest meat ducks need to be moved. So these are my meat ducks here, and we raise them in tractors just like this. Very similar to what you would raise Cornish crosses, meat chickens in. We do the same with our Pekin meat ducks. And we just move them around in these tractors each day onto fresh greenery. And at this time of year, with it being the off season with our garden, I'm pulling them in through to different areas around the garden to eat the things that have come up, but also to fertilize the garden spaces as well. So now that we moved them, next we need to provide them with some fresh water and some feed. And this right here is flock B for our meat ducks. And we got to move them on to fresh greenery as well. But they're coming through where we were growing beets in here, as well as radishes, and just eating up the different things that have come up, like the dock here, eating that up. All right, Micah, can you fill that up for me?
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
And you can really see here what all they ate up. And if you look closely, you can also see some organic fertilizer that they left behind too. So they've eaten all that up, but it used to look like this right here.
That's the bean. Whistle. Where do you go?
One down, one more to go. Alrighty, so that's done. And right now, Selah is putting up some of our egg layers and breeder ducks. Yummy. Just in time for dinner. And what, did this take about 4 hours or so, something like that?
Yeah, the setting is for 4 hours for broth. So in a pressure cooker, you can make really good broth in just 4 hours.
And one of the differences between duck broth or duck stock versus chicken stock is duck is more flavorful. The flavor is much richer. And how's it coming in the big pot over there?
It's coming along. It definitely takes longer in a stock pot if you want the really good broth, but there it is. It's coming along. It's still on low right now.
How much longer will you cook that one for?
A lot of times I'll even let it simmer overnight, but that's just me. You don't have to do it that long, and I like it whenever the bones just will like break in two just with your fingers.
Yummy. It's time to enjoy some nice, hot duck juice. Stop. See you next time.